Rise and shine. It's time to get the day started with the morning show of record for the Homestead community. It is the Farm to Table Direct Show Morning Edition. Well, good morning, everyone. Glad to be with you again this morning. Special shout out to our morning crew who may be here with us already. And hope you're here with me and watching later if you're not. Well, another pre recorded episode. Again, same thing. Had to be in work early again today. So here we go. We're going to do the best we can with it. Hope you all join us, are here. Leave your comments in the chat. And if not, catch it later. Permission to sleep in this morning. Robbie and Scotty and a couple of other people were on last night with us on the Farm2Table Direct Show. So they're aware of this. But anyway, glad to see you all here. I hope the weather is good where you're at. I hope you're having a great day with the weather. But anyway, our weather today's low is 50 with a high of 64 and a 50% chance of rain. So pretend we're probably going to get a little wet today. Just washed my work truck, got it cleaned up yesterday, and actually day before yesterday. And yeah, now we got rain and mud. Lovely. Anyway, so there it is. Let's move right along. We're going to be hopping and popping through this one today. So anyway, it's time for today's Reality Smackdown. First off, FBI agents sue over Department of Justice demanded list of personnel involved in Jan 6 investigations. Well, well, well. Funny how things have switched around. Anyway, that's what's going on there. This is a hot button issue. This will get people fired up. Donald Trump proposed the U.S. to take over the Gaza Strip during talks with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday. We'll see. I bet that's going over like a ton of bricks. Anyway, so it goes. On to some positive news. RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard clear committees and are forwarded to the Senate for full vote. Hopefully that goes extremely well. And we'll see. Got enough votes there. Let's get it done, folks. And on that same note, Pam Bondi confirmed as the U.S. Attorney General. So one more on the nomination, and we will see how the rest go. But anyway, so that is today's Reality Smackdown. What's going on in the world? And we will move right along for this day in history. Let's see, what is today? February 5th. Man, I've got to change my notes. Anyway, today is February 5th. Anyway, 1817, first U.S. Gas Company Incorporated, Baltimore, coal gas for streetlights. 1870, the first motion picture show shown to a theater audience in Philadelphia. And it's been sideways ever since. Anyway, 1900, the U.S. and the United Kingdom sign a treaty for the Panama Canal. Interesting that that's in the news again here lately with kind of some of the things going on down there with Trump and others. And of course, let's see, moving on forward, jumping forward, 1936, Harry Ferguson patents the suction side hydraulic control system, allowing control of 3-point mounted agricultural implements. Super important. God bless that man. Anyway, 1971, Apollo 14, the third U.S. manned moon expedition, lands near Framaro. I'm assuming that's on the moon. Alan Shepard, Edward Mitchell, Apollo 14, walk on moon for 4 hours. Interesting. Let's see. 1986, jumping forward quite a ways, Corazon Aquino and Ferdinand Marcos, former presidents and dictator, et cetera, of the Philippines, appear on Nightline. 1988, first primetime wrestling match in 30 years. Andre the Giant defeats Hulk Hogan. And that is wrestling in 1988. Anyway, we're jumping way forward for our final one. Heavy metal band Black Sabbath played their last concert in their hometown of Birmingham, England. Anyway, some interesting stuff in the news, some not so interesting stuff in the news, and a lot of stuff I just didn't feel like reading. So that is today's day in history. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found something in there interesting. I was super excited, that we take it for granted the things on our tractors and, 3-point implements and stuff. And all the way back there, this guy Ferguson, the Ferguson tractors, et cetera, invented the hydraulics lift. That's awesome. All right. So today's topic, cheap eggs and 2 solutions to the shortage. And you might say there's a shortage of eggs. Yeah, there's been an ongoing shortage. And this came to me in a newsletter, a Cultivate newsletter that I get every week. And it's interesting. And it's simple solutions, but you would think egg shortage and things, it just doesn't make sense. There's chickens everywhere, but apparently not as many as we think. So we're going to go ahead and share this. So it's in my email. We'll pull this up and we're going to scroll through a lot like we did yesterday with our topic yesterday. So we'll go through and I'll give comment and commentary as we move through this. So here we go. Let's see. Let me get over here and we will share this. All right. That is something else. Here we go. Let's see. Cultivate Savings Cheap Eggs. Now, these are some headlines. Just recently, bird flu in U.S. is creating egg shortages and driving up prices. New York Times, January 24th, 2025. Huffington Post, January 27th. Here's why you're having a hard time finding eggs at the grocery store. And CNET, January 22nd. Why are eggs so expensive? We'll explain. Just some of the headlines that have popped up last month. Regarding the egg shortage and kind of what they're talking about. And, of course, blaming it on the good old bird flu right there. That's right, our friendly neighborhood avian influenza. Anyway, remember the great egg shortage of 2023? You might have noticed it's back. And you know what? Predictions. It might well happen again. And not just with eggs, but chicken, beef, milk, too. Why? Drought, pestilence, and other factors. Yeah, other factors. If you're struggling to find or pay for eggs, beef, chicken at the grocery store, maybe time to consider boosting your resilience against those broken systems. Now, this is 2 ways that you can do this starting today, starting right now this morning. First, and this one's probably the most practical for a lot of people. Not everybody is just like me. Not everybody has the ability to raise animals. Not that I couldn't do it. It's a time commitment. And that is, something we all need to be mindful of, that animals need to be taken care of. So the first one, find local egg producers. There are several ways you can find good grub. Local harvest, open up a copy of edible. Anyway, it's careful. You could even take a leisurely Sunday drive in the country and chat with the locals. Little coffee shops, diners, flea supply stores posted. You might even spot a farm fresh egg sign. I see them all the time where I live. And anyway, people, perhaps you're already part of some community, more like a farm share, milk share. Ask if they sell eggs. People who milk cows inevitably raise chickens too. It is. Local eggs be much fresher than store-bought eggs, which are often several weeks old, and you might, just might, pay less. Because in her experience, and I would agree overall, locals tend not to price gouge. They'll be competitive, but they'll stay below. And there's a thought, too much competition, and the producers have to look you in the eye. Anyway, I don't know what y'all think about that. Kind of some of the, what you want to call ideas for, for that. And we'll see. Just going back over here. It's wonderful to establish with a relationship with a producer. Buying local helps build resilient food sheds, because decentralized food is far less affected by supply chain woes and other snafus. Taking another link out in the supply chain. That's what we're all about. Now, the caution is, if you're going to make the switch, be not flaky. That's right. Remember everything back when everybody realized that the giant food systems do fail? They flocked to farmers markets, CSAs, happily picking up their weekly allotment, checked local groups to hunt for grass-fed beef, fresh milk, pastured eggs. The trend was fantastic for local food systems. And then the great, she writes, the great flocking became the great flaking. The air rushed out with a weak and fizzly somewhere in the direction of Costco. Anyway, the store is convenient, and yep, that's exactly what it is. Subsidized industrial food is often cheaper, but at what cost? And I agree, that's a special rant for another day. But anyway, that's it's not how we build better health, and nor how do we build resilient food systems. With eggs, for example, in order to accommodate a boost in product order, someone has to go purchase or hatch baby chicks, spend extra money on feed for months. So when the customer just vanishes, the farmer eats a lot more omelets and expenses. Local food systems are a good thing. Let's build them up and keep them there. Uh, anyway, I'm going to come back over to this for just a minute, get back over here with you. I breezed through that kind of fast, and I understand that. You know, right over here, this right behind me, it's kind of blocked. I'm going to move this so y'all can see what that says. It says locally grown. Because that's that's the best way. Now, listen, I'll be the first to be honest. I'm a box store guy, and I don't eat a ton of eggs. Use them as ingredients and that type of thing. When I'll be able to cook, as many of y'all are aware, I'm kitchenless right now, and the pressure's on to get that done, and I will get that done. Um, but what was being talked about in that article of building those relationships and how simple it really can be. Whether it's a farmer's market or someplace like that, there's people there, A, that are probably selling it, and then two, if they're not, they know somebody. They know a guy. Uh, and I laughed when I read that about driving through the country and seeing a sign for farm fresh eggs because I see it all the time here, as well as on our Facebook marketplace. Not so much, but no, we have a community page for the little community I live in, and there's people that add on there, and so that's just ways that you can jump in there. But getting to know those people, it helps support them. Many of them are backyard flocks, and they're just trying to offset feed costs. So you're helping somebody out there, and you're getting a good fresh product that's a lot fresher and a lot newer. And hey, if it hasn't been refrigerated, it doesn't have to be. You put it on the shelf and on a little basket, and there you go. But that's long been a tradition of people selling eggs from their homes and that type of thing. I think it goes way back, and uh, depends on how you like your eggs. Now, some of the brown eggs, it's that thicker yolk, a little higher protein. Different types of eggs have different texture and flavors, and you got to figure out what works for you. But finding local places, local people that are providing your eggs. And also, listen, that leads to beef and pork and other items where you can buy, a share of directly, or you can buy from a local person who gets them USDA processed through a USDA facility. And again, you're putting more money directly into that person's pocket. And, because not everybody's going to raise chickens in their backyard, as easy as it'll be. We're about to get into that. Um, but for you that are not going to do it, or maybe you are in a situation you can't, there's a lot of opportunities out there to source your food and eggs locally from local people, and that's a huge part of what we're about. We're going to get back into this and pick up on option number 2. Let me see right here, and all right, here we go. On to solution number 2: cultivate resilience. Pick up some chicks, i.e., baby chicks, chickens. And maybe yours is a busy 2-income household like mine, or you live in an OHOA. Not a chance. Never going to happen. Or you just simply don't think you have enough time for one more project. Check. Cha-ching. That's me. She says raising backyard chickens is more doable than you might think. Now, there's reasons I won't besides that. But anyway, those birds will make your yard feel downright bucolic. Go look that word up. Anyway, just make sure, it's part of baby yard. Rocking chair and watching Cluck Cluck TV in no time. And they are an interesting creature. But anyway, as was mentioned several times last year, more and more cities, suburbs, and even HOAs are allowing people to raise backyard laying hens. Now, I will say that this recent bird flu outbreaks and things of that nature might be getting some pushback. I hope not. But all it takes is one person making a stink, and we're there. But anyway, most excellent, a little flock of four can go a long way towards building resilience. Egg layers tend to be quiet, except for the one trumpet section anymore saying, I laid one. They'll reduce your trash load by eating many of your food scraps. They also create nitrogen-rich compost for your garden if you're a gardener. Now listen, this is for the folks that are ready to kind of make that next step. And they easily rid your yard of ticks, grasshoppers, and other pests. One more reason I need a fence, so they won't escape. And I got a dog that I'm afraid would do what dogs sometimes do. Anyway, and yes, if you want to go out of town, you can. A neighbor is often quite happy to feed your hens in exchange for that week's eggs. Got to have those relationships built. You got to have your neighbors, and you got to have that person, whether it's a family member or whatever. Okay. Now, there are costs involved. You need to feed chickens if you want regular omelets. Unless you're handy and build your own little coop, you'll pay a decent amount for hen housing. I recommend finding some DIY YouTube videos on how to build a coop or a tractor to move them around, because they're no joke. Buying a pre-built hen house or tractor, quite pricey. But you can build it with a little bit of ingenuity, and elbow grease, and a few YouTube videos. You can build that. That said, flavor, nutrition, availability gains you might find make sense to go pick up some. Actually, if you can swing it, pick up some pullets. Young hens nearling age, just do a search for pullets for sale. About $30 per bird. It'll cost a lot more than $2 day old chicks, but you'll also save on considerable time and expense of raising them to laying age. Shipping big birds is expensive, so try to find it local. Another trick, organic egg farms will often sell older hens at steep discount. First backyard hens were 2 years old, too geriatric for commercial production, but laid several times a week. They got them all four. So get them now. Send message urging us all to get our chicken orders in. So some hatcheries are already running out of chicks. Find you some hatcheries nearby would be my recommendation. If you're in the Oklahoma area, I'd say Okie Farm and Hatchery in Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. But anyway, and there's others out there. Order now. Go local, just as you find a surprising number of egg sellers near you. Likewise, there were several small local hatcheries like Okie Farm and Hatchery that I just mentioned. Pay your egg producer to incubate a few eggs. Purchase fertile eggs and raise them, incubate them yourself. Anyway, and cultivate monthly. They did have a beautiful issue on all kinds of livestock breed, including chickens. So subscribe to some of this if you can. Now, if you have a little space to work with, or the HOA is really strict, or if you're simply just try raising quail, our good friend Craig Beam over at Beam Farms would be a guy that you can reach out to about quail and quail eggs, and he'll talk to you about them. That's his thing, and knows a lot about it. Very tasty as meat birds, harvest them more easily and discreetly. Ducks are also allowed in many suburbs, but anyway, a bit messier. We'll have a kiddie pool to splash. But anyway, I don't know about it. And then they also raise guineas. Yes, they are allowed, and they cackle at everything. And anyway, so there you go. There's options. Now you've got your 1-2 punch. Buy local eggs and then raise your own. If you can, egg prices will come down again, but when they go back up, you won't be henpecked. So I'm going to stop sharing this and kind of come back over. Y'all can leave in the comments kind of what y'all's thoughts are. I'm a little nervous about the chickens. They say that's the gateway drug in the homesteading community. Now, I happen to work in the commercial poultry industry, so that kind of is a conflict of interest for me, and not because I don't want them, but because, well, there's certain biohazard concerns that the company has or whatever. But anyway, so those are options. But I've got family and friends, and mainly I can source it local. There are plenty of people around me, so I can get my eggs locally. So I will be looking for that local egg producer when the time comes, i.e. after I have a kitchen, so I can use the eggs. Anyway, so there's two options to help battle against the rising price of eggs at the grocery stores and box stores, and also combat the egg shortage. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that's just good, plain old good advice. When you can, when there's a shortage, be the guy that has it. Not only, hey, if you get enough of them going, you're raising for yourself, but you could be that person with the farm fresh eggs sign out on the road or at the local farmers market, et cetera, et cetera. You could become that local egg producer or egg dealer. And so, hey, you never know. One small step, and next thing you know, there you go. And those an entrepreneurial spirit, there you go. Raising chickens. That's how a lot of people get started. So it's worth pursuing. Hopefully, I went through this fast, I know today, but hopefully that just kind of helps you think about some alternatives. And especially with the egg shortage. Now, for a lot of my homesteader friends and people who may be watching, they're giving us the duh right now, but because they're already there or have been there. But this was directed to those of us who haven't. Um, just as advice, many people live in places where they just simply can't. If you're in an apartment, probably not raising a chicken. But so again, a whole lot easier to find somebody that's a local producer. So we'll leave that off with that. Like I said, again, feel free to leave the comments, and tomorrow when I'm back on live, you can throw it out there then too if I remember, and we'll see what happens. So, excuse me. With that being said, let's move on to the tip of the day, and this one's tough. It's a good advice. What we're going to go through today is good advice, but it's another easier said than done. Be patient with yourself and your homestead. In other words, give yourself a little grace, give yourself a little credit, and be patient. Maybe don't take yourself so serious. Learning new skills, growing new life takes time. Don't expect to learn everything you need to know overnight. Not a chance. And just have to build in intuition for homesteading, or to somehow have that just built in. Agriculture is a time cultivated skill set, enormous benefits that can sometimes crawl along. Slow down, enjoy the process, and open yourself up to a simpler way of life in the process. So that's what I said. Enjoy the journey, and like I said, be patient. Don't take yourself so seriously. As the old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your homestead be. Uh, so just be patient with yourself and your homestead. And that is the tip of the day today. Now we're going to jump into upcoming events. I've got quite a few to get through here. February 15th, Southwest Arkansas Homesteading Conference, Nashville, Arkansas, put on by Pike County U of A, University of Arkansas Ag Extension. And I think there was a partnering county, but anyway, that's in Nashville, Arkansas. February 21st and 22nd, Homesteaders of Iowa, Expo 2025, Bridgeview Center, Ottumwa, Iowa. Our friend Monty Shrunk from the Suburban Sodbuster will be there. Check Monty out on the Suburban Sodbuster for some great content. And anyway, next up is the Boston Mountain Homesteading Workshop, March 1st, 8:15 to 4 p.m. As I've said before, that one's in my backyard in Chester, Arkansas, a small little town. But the second or third year now they've been doing this. Anyway, of course, March 21st and 22nd, Okie Homestead Expo, Mays County Fairground, Pryor, Oklahoma. Tickets on sale now, $50 for a 2-day pass, 17 and under free. Keith and I will be there, the whole Farm to Table crew, and we will be bringing the Farm to Table Direct Show to the Okie Homestead Expo. So we look forward to seeing you all there. Arkansas Homesteading Conference, March 29th. Cleveland County Fairgrounds, Rising, Arkansas. $20 for adults, 17 and under free. April 12th, New Beginnings Homestead Expo, Nowata, Oklahoma. We will have more information to follow. This conversation just occurred yesterday, but Keith and I have been invited to speak, and we'll, of course, cover an interview and be there, but we've been invited to speak there at that expo. April 25th and 26th, the Shindig Ozark Living Expo, Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper, Arkansas. So don't know much about that one other than that, but you can look it up on the old Google machine, the Shindig Ozark Living Expo. Just found out about this one yesterday as well, the Homestead Conference, Waco, Texas, April 25th and 26th. That's being put on down there in Waco. It's the first one. This is the first year doing it. I know Joel Salatin, David Salatin, Shauna Beth Dougherty, and several others. The Shepherdess and others are going to be there. It is April 25th and 26th as well. So if you're in that area, adults are $99 for the 2 days, and kids 3 to 17 are $13. I'm not sure, but I got to get more details on it. I just learned of it, but that's what I know so far. Homestead Festival at Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee, June 6th and 7th. $75 general admission, and kids 6 to 17 are $25. Up there in April, before we get there, I know in April, there's going to be the 10 Killer YouTube meetup the last weekend in April. And then also Mid-America YouTube meetup is coming up in May, and I'm not sure the dates. I've got to get those still. Anyway, then we'll take a break during the hot of the year, and then we'll pick back up in September. Ozark Homestead Expo, Marshfield, Missouri, September 5th and 6th. General admission, $50 for 2-day access to all presentations. Let me see. Kids 13 to 17 is $15. Kids 12 and under free, but must have a ticket. Great lineup. Of course, Joel Salatin and a lot of the others will be there. John Moody, of course, Uncle Mud, a lot up for the kids, a lot of different people there. Great lineup, so check that one out. And then, of course, our very own Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous in McAllister, Oklahoma at the Southeast Expo Center, September 26th and 27th. Door admission is $15. You can find them on Facebook at Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous or at oklahomahomesteadrendezvous.org. So check that one out. And to round up the season, Homesteaders of America Conference 2025, October 10th and 11th, Front Royal, Virginia. Tickets are currently still on sale, $50 for 2-day pass. Found out they are under 1,000 tickets left, so they are running out of tickets very quickly. So that is your upcoming events, and of course, continue on the journey with Keith and I on Tuesday nights as we interview people, as we talk about our ongoing progress on these self-reliance scales, and many more topics to come Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on the Farm2Table Direct Show. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow live, 6 a.m. right here to talk about another exciting subject, which you will have to tune in tomorrow to find out. But anyway, we'll see you all there on that. Anyway, looking forward to being back live with you. I missed the chat. But anyway, I miss all of my people hanging out. But anyway, that is a wrap for today on the Farm2Table Direct Show, Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we explore headlines, stories impacting our world now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep, your vision growing. Good food starts with great people. Remember, we are #stronger together. Be a blessing to someone today. And I'm going to hand this off to our good friend Hank to take us on out of here. Folks, we will see you on the other side.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.